Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Okay, so students, we have completed our syllabus. So today I will just take your revision. So I will check how much you have understood. Okay, for that we'll see from first lesson. So just open your textbook, page number 2, lesson number first, geometry. See here students, here all of you know that a straight path between 2 points is called a line segment. Very good. This one is a line segment. A straight path between 2 points. Here is a line segment. Now students, it does not have a beginning and end point. So what to write here students? It has beginning points also and end points also. Okay. Now same here, it has or does not have a definite length. Students, what to write? Yes, it has a definite length cause we can measure it, isn't it? We can measure it, so it has a definite length. Now next one, a line segment extend endlessly on both sides. That means if we can say extend from both sides, so what is called students? It is called as a line. That means here we can extend from both sides. Now it has or does not have a definite beginning or end point. It does not have, you can see. Okay, now here it has or does not have a definite length. Can we measure? No, so that's why it does not have a definite length. A part of a line that extends endlessly in one direction only is called a, yes students, when we extend the part of a line only in one direction, this one is called ray. Okay, now here it has a beginning point but no end point. Now it dash has or does not have a definite length. It does not have a definite length. So this you have already studied in your previous standard. Now here students, see angles. Students, what is meant by angles? See, when two rays meet at a point, an angle is formed. See, when two rays meet at a point, an angle is formed. It is marked by a small curve. See, you can see here. These two rays meet at a one point. So, this one is called a angle and this can be shown as a curve. Small curve. The points where two rays meet is called as the vertex. Here these two rays meet, so this point is called as a vertex. Now the rays form the arms of the angles. Here these are the arms of the angles. Now this angle has vertex O and arms OB and OA. It is called an angle BOA or angle, see, we can write as angle BOA or we can write the sign of angle and BOA. Understood? Now it can also be named angle AOB. Okay. The symbol represents the word angle. This symbol represents the word angle. So remember, while naming an angle, the vertex is always in the center. We can see here This O is the vertex and here the vertex is in the middle. So remember, whenever you will be write the name of the angle, the vertex should be in the middle. Okay. Now we can also name an angle in different way. See here. Here angle ABC can be named as angle 1. Okay. Now see next figure. Here angle XYZ can be named as angle A. Now we will see our next point. Next page, page number 4. See, the measure of an angle is decided by how wide the arms are open, not by how long the arms are. Remember this, students? The measure of an angle is decided by how wide the arms are open. See, not by the how long the arms are. So students, here in this figure, angle ABC is smaller than angle PQR, angle MNO is greater than angle PQR, and angle XYZ is greater than all these three angles. Okay. So here, measuring angles. See, the standard unit for measuring an angle is a degree. Degree is the unit of measuring the angles. The mathematical symbol for degree or degrees is like this. See, if we have to write 60 degree, we can write as it is 120. This is the symbol of degree. So, to measure an angle in degrees, we use a protractor. This one is the protractor. Okay. Here is a protractor. You will find it in your geometric box. The protractor has two scales on it. An inner scale. See, this one is the inner scale and this one is the outer scale. Wait, I will show. Here, this one is the inner scale. Here is the outer scale. This is the baseline and this one is the center of the protractor. Okay. Now, see, the protractor has two scales on it, an inner scale and outer scale of numbers beginning from 0 to 180. Here also in outer scale beginning from 0 to 180 degree. So, the protractor can therefore be read from left to right or right to left. It can be read from left to right or right to left. Okay. It also has a center and a baseline joining center at 0 degree. Now here, next page, see, to measure the angle ABC with the protractor. See here students, here is an angle. So how to measure? Place the baseline of the protractor along here. See, along the one of the arms of the angle. See, here is the center of the protractor and here is a baseline. Okay. Now adjust its position such that the center point of the protractor is on the vertex B of the angle. Here is a B is the vertex of the angle. So students, look at the scale where the arm BC along the baseline point at 0 degree, inner scale in this case. See, here this arrow, students, you may get confused as I told you in previous sessions also. Whenever this ray is on the right side, just count by inner scale. Okay, and whenever the ray is on the left side, just count it from the left side. Okay, outer scale. Now here read it. Yes, where is the ray? Here, on the 50 degree. So measure of angle ABC is 50 degree. Now we'll see next one. Here angle DEF. See, now this arrow, this ray is on the left side, so we can count it from the outer scale, that means left side. See, where is this arrow? Ray 60 degree. So measure of this angle DEF is equal to 60 degree. So next page, page number 7, types of angles. A right angle measures 90 degree. See, right angle means 90 degree. Okay, it is marked as this sign. See, a horizontal and a vertical ray make a right angle. A horizontal and vertical ray make a right angle. Okay, now acute angle. An acute angle measures between 0 and 90 degrees. See, you can see this is a less than 90 degree. That means, what is the definition of acute angle? The acute angle is measures from 0 and 90 degree. That means it can be start from 0 but less than the 90 degree. That means it is less than a right angle. Okay, now next page. See here, obtuse angle measures between 90 degree and 180 degree. See, you can see that this is a greater than 90 degree, that means greater than right angle. So we can say that it is more than a right angle and the measures between 90 degree and 180 degree. Okay, now next point, an angle measuring 180 degree is called a straight angle. See here, this one is a straight angle. If you will measure it, you will get 180 degree. A zero angle measures 0. See, this one is a ray and this is called a zero angle. Okay, so students, here exercise 1.4. So you can identify it and measure with the help of the protractor. Now on the next page, see, drawing angles. You can draw an angle of a given measure using a protractor. So for that, to draw an angle of 70 degree, draw a ray AB. Here is AB and place the baseline of the protractor on the ray AB. See, baseline of the protractor on the ray AB and center should be on the A. Okay, now note that AB meets at 0 degree point on the baseline along the inner scale. Locate the 70 degree mark. See, where is the 70 degree? Here. So put a dot and afterwards remove the protractor and join these 2 points and draw a ray AC. So in this way you can draw the angle. Now here question is there, use your protractor to draw these angles. Now in this way you can draw the angles. If you want to draw the angle on the right side, just take the inner scale, and if you want to draw the angle from left side, just count by the outer scale. Now construction using compass and ruler are given here, and after that exercise 1.6 is there. See, here draw line segments in your notebook equal in length to the line segments given below. See, just measure segment AB and take same measurement and draw it in your notebook. Okay, now types of lines. Intersecting lines. Students, line AB and XY meet at O. See, you can see here line AB and XY. So students, we say that they intersect at O. Okay. Now AB and XY are intersecting lines. Now we will see perpendicular lines. All of you understood what is meant by intersecting lines? Okay. Now next point, perpendicular lines. See here, when two lines intersect and make a right angle, they are said to be perpendicular to each other. That means AB is perpendicular to AC. Okay. Now on the next page, page number 12, see here parallel lines. See, can you tell me which type of lines is? Yes, these are the intersecting lines. These two lines intersect each other at O. So these are the intersecting lines. Now tell me XY and MN. Which type of lines are these? Yes, when we extend XY and MN, they will meet at O. So we can say that these are the intersecting lines. But students, here PQ and RS, when we extend these two lines, they will not intersect each other. That means these two lines are the parallel lines. So here is a definition, and two lines are parallel if they do not intersect each other. Now see here these two are the intersecting lines. If you measure this distance between two lines, the distance will be different. Okay, but in parallel lines, if you measure the distance will be same. Okay, so students, the distance between two parallel lines is always the same. Now next point, here is exercise 1.7. so you need to find the types of the lines. Okay, now polygons. A closed shape with any number of straight sides is called polygon. See, here are some polygons you can see. Now three-sided polygons are called triangles. Tri means three. The triangle ABC is written as the triangle sign and ABC. This is the sign of a triangle. The symbol, this stands for a triangle. A triangle has three sides. See, three sides and three angles, 1, 2 and 3. Again three vertices, A, B and C. Okay, so students, on the next page here, see, the sides of triangle ABC are AB, BC and AC, and vertices are A, B and C. The angles are ABC, angle ACB and angle BAC. Now students, a four-sided polygon is a quadrilateral. Quad means 4. So here are the figures of a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral has 4 sides, 4 angles and 4 vertices. So 4 sides AB, AD, BC and BC are the 4 sides of the quadrilateral, and 4 vertices, that means A, B, C, D. Even the 4 angles, angle BAD, angle ADC, angle BCD and angle ABC. Okay, but remember that see here, the angles should be proper. Okay, now types of quadrilaterals. The quadrilateral family is a large one. Here are some special quadrilaterals. See, rectangle student, All of you know this one is the rectangle. So students, what are the properties of rectangles? We'll see. All angles are right angles and opposite sides are parallel. See, these two sides are parallel. Even these two sides are also parallel and opposite sides are equal. So whenever we will measure these two sides, we will get the equal measure. Even these two sides also are in equal measure. Now square. All angles are right angle in the square. Opposite sides are parallel. Here also opposite sides are parallel, but here all sides are equal. Okay. In rectangle only opposite sides are equal, but in square all sides are equal in length. Now parallelogram. Here opposite sides are parallel. These two sides are parallel. Even these two sides are also parallel. Now opposite sides are equal. See, the length of the opposite sides, that means these two are equal in length and these two are also equal in length. Then what is the difference between rectangle and parallelogram? Yes students, here in rectangle all sides of the rectangle, all angles are right angle, but in parallelogram it is not possible, isn't it? Now next page, page number 15. Here opposite sides are parallel and all sides are equal. See students, in square also all sides are equal. Then what is the difference between rhombus and square? In square all angles are right angle, but in rhombus it is not possible. Okay. Here are the properties of triangle, and on the next page, here first see, the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. This one is a property of a triangle. Now here page number 1, here 16. The angles of a triangle add up to 180. That means sum of the measure of three sides of angles of a triangle is equal to 180. So for that, here is a question. Just add these two sides and subtract it from 180, then you will get the third angle. Okay. So in this way you can solve the exercise 1.8. Now here page number 18, see, here are the types of a triangle. A triangle with one right angle is called right angle triangle. Here, okay, the right angle is marked as shown. Now this one is a triangle with one obtuse angle is called an obtuse angle triangle, and same for the acute angle also. A triangle with all three acute angles is called an acute angle triangle. Again, see page number 19. Here, a triangle with its three sides equal is called an equilateral triangle. See, here are the marks that shows the length of these three sides are equal. So it has three equal angles. How many degrees each angle? That means 60 degree, because 60 plus 60 plus 60, that means 180. And here a triangle with two equal sides is an isosceles. See, two sides are equal. Okay. A triangle having all sides of different lengths, it's called scalene triangle. See, lengths are the different. Okay, now understood types of a triangles. Okay, now here exercise 1.9. See, classify the following triangles with respect to their sides. So just now I told you about the types of a triangles. As per the rules you can solve the exercise. Now next page, circle. Students, here see, as you know, this one is a circle. A circle is a closed figure. Now, but it is not bounded by a straight line segment. It is bounded by a curved line. Students, every point on this curved line is at equal distance from a fixed point inside the circle. This fixed point O is the center of the circle. See, this one is the center of the circle. O is the center. Now, here, see, this one is the radius OA, radius OB, and XY is the diameter of the circle. Okay. Now, students, look at the line segment XY here. Passing through the center O, the end points X and Y are on the circle. XY is known as the diameter of the circle. That means a line segment passing through the center of a circle whose end points lie on the circle is called diameter of the circle. See, XY, the end points are on the circle and passing through the center. That means this one is the diameter of the circle, and diameter of a circle is twice the radius. So here is the formula. See on the page number 21. Diameter is equal to 2 into radius. That means radius is a half of the diameter. Now, a line segment whose end points lie on the circle is called a chord. See, a line segments whose end points lies on the circle are called the chords. So these are the chords, and remember that diameter is the longest chord. Now, arc of a circle, arc and a semicircle. Here, any part of a circle is called an arc of the circle. We usually name an arc by 3 points, and here is a semicircle. See, PRQ and PSQ. Okay, note that a semicircle is also an arc of a circle. Okay, so here is exercise 1.10. You can solve it. Now, students, here is a formula of a circumference. That means B into 3.14. 3.14 is a pi. Okay, so by using the formula you can solve the exercise 1.11. So students, in this way we have completed our lesson number 1 as a revision of the lesson number 1. So students, try to solve daily some questions so you will be not confused while solving the examples. Thank you.